Hello, ducklings. Well, you didn't expect it, did you? But that's the reality. We already have the most disgusting weather and an Audi RS7, which should make this weather a little bit better. Launch control. I'm puffing out my chest. It'll still pierce you. I should be pressing you down. Today we'll be talking about this super mega cool car, and this is simply indisputable. So take this fact as a given. Today we will be comparing it not even with its competitors, but with an Audi RSQ8. Because for me, to be honest, and in fact I've noticed this in your reviews as well, this is pretty much the most perfect car in the world. What's a man to do? This is the truth. Nevertheless, what will you get in this car that you will not get in an Audi RSQ8, for example? What makes it better? Why should you pick it in particular, apart from it being incredibly beautiful? So, fact number uno. There is almost no window dressing except for these additional slots that lead absolutely nowhere. Otherwise, everything here works as it should to improve aerodynamics. Perhaps this also works for style, for history, for the continuity of the generations. It's absolutely sick. This strip, without it, you can forget about the modern Audis, because the Quattros and all the others have this as a tribute to the history of the brand, which is why we will obviously take a note of this. For those who are opening this video not knowing the technical characteristics of the car and having no idea what kind of a thing it is, because, well, I was hoping that since you, and I'm not the first to release a review, you probably have already watched 150 million reviews of an Audi RSQ8, and you know what's under the hood. If you don't know, well, not a problem. Well, where are you going? Oh, where are you going, my dear audience? Oh, but I was just about to tell you about the technical characteristics. Where are you going? Oh, jeez. So, let's get back on track, as they say. Under the hood, it has the same engine as the Audi RS7 and the Audi RS6. A 4-liter twin-turbo V8 with a capacity of 600 brake horsepower. 600! And 800 Newton-meters of torque, which is available there for you in almost the entirety of the range. It really doesn't care where you press the gas pedal. What's interesting here? I don't know, perhaps only this aluminium hot shield. Bloody hell, it's hot. This is probably like an additional cooling radiator. In fact, it even sticks out above the engine compartment. It's like, I'm puffing out my chest because I can. And it really can. Second gear is just 357. 357? What? I want to say everything turned out smoother, but 357. It's hard to believe that I, practically in a family car, can just press like that. 355. I'm driving with a passenger, you understand, right? If I drop Sanyo off, it'll be 3.5. Holy crap. 353. Faster and faster each time. But there's nothing good because nothing good here because there's water. I'll be damned. Good God. Now, I can say with full authority that this is the fastest car we've ever driven, and this deserves a clap, because I've never gone from 0 to 100 in 353 before. In short, we need to examine the Taycan, well, and film it, of course. I'm talking about filming it, but in fact, I've never driven such a fast car. The Taycan, I don't know, yeah, the turbo, it was flying. I haven't measured it though. I haven't measured the Taycan. I've just driven it. Speed, even more agility, and a low center of gravity. This allowed them to make it just like, even more like a projectile. That is, if you want more family, then the RSQ8 is great, it's good. But damn, if you want to drive, if you want to get more thrill by driving, RSQ8 will get you thrilled as well, 100%. But if you want your car to be a tool, a real German precision tool, you need an RS7. Well, apparently an RS6 also. Well, shall we have another go? Second gear, damn. 348! 348! We've done in under 3.5 seconds. Oh, I'm just in awe of this car. Damn, Audi, what are you doing? Well, malfunction. Real spoiler. What other malfunction could there be? Of course there'll be a malfunctioning rear spoiler. Listen, I'm telling you, I've already seen this somewhere in some of the Audis. The very same thing appeared. Yeah, it also happened on the track. I'm telling you, it happened on the track. That's exactly it. It doesn't like something. Probably the G-forces. You don't use your spoiler as intended. Actually, I should be pressing you down on the driving line so that you go fast. And what you do? What are you doing? What? I'm telling you, it's complaining 100%. It was outraged. Why didn't you go to the turn fast? Why the hell did you go sideways? So, the difference, if compared with an Audi RSQ8, is 10,000 euros in your pocket. And that's practically... it doesn't even matter. Actually, you know why? Because I just wanted to say that you could buy a new car, but in reality, a new car for 10 grand, you can't buy anything decent anymore. They shouldn't even be listed as an advantage, especially for those who deal with these amounts when purchasing a car. The tank is 12 liters smaller, 73 liters instead of 85, and taking into account the fact that it doesn't consume less, this means that you simply have less driving distance. And this is a big problem for such cars. On the other hand, whilst I was sick, I saw these mystical 10.7 liters per 100 kilometers. And I saw 10.2 liters, Misha. You saw it in your 4-cylinder mode in the Solaris. 4-cylinder mode. Goodness me. Can you do that? Who's driving? Alexander, of course. The car immediately turns onto the 4-cylinder mode instead of a V8. Other things being equal, it will be 250 kilograms lighter, which means that even if you put your entire family inside, it will still be lighter, more aerodynamic, and faster. Naturally, in manual mode, it switches to the top gear itself because, well, you can't wait here for a long time, I guess. But only when it hits the red zone. Yeah, it gives you time then blinks red, and then shifts. Well, you've had your chance to drive on the limit, mate. You haven't used your shift window. And, you know, we all remember how important it is to shift at the right time, right? Second, third, fourth already. Jesus. It's good that we have carbon ceramic brakes here. There's some visibility with this, thanks to the leaves falling off the trees. But the speed... Lord, this is a crazy car. Very fast, unrealistically fast for this road. Because 140 until the middle of the straight section, that's just scary, that's it. Oh, that's it. Oh, the road's ended. Oh, dear. Oh, damn it. Good grief. Racetrack. A racetrack only, guys. Yeah, this is definitely a Tiger, ladies and gentlemen. I can't even say anything anymore, because I understand that this is a very fast, very awesome handling. You understand it well, you feel it well. Four-wheel drive, emphasis on the rear. It taxis, it steers, it accelerates with ease. It does everything with ease, like a real sports car. And this is, you know, it's hard to find any flaw right now where the car overcomes a lot. It overcomes everything, including the possibilities of the road on which we're driving. The wheels. Here we have 22-inch rims instead of the 23-inch ones we see on the RSQ7. The profile is still low, and the rims are still the cool Audi ones. They've got carbon ceramic brakes, and it's actually easier for this car to cope with them, because, you know, the RSQ7 is heavy, so it really needs those brakes. But here, everything is somehow more concise and better so far. Of course, it'll be much more expensive for you to maintain them, to change the discs with the pads, but you'll do it much less often than with your ordinary steel discs, regardless of any perforation or the pads that you might use. For example, in my Audi, I've done it all very recently, and although, you won't believe it, the mileage with a full set of steel discs and pads was roughly around 5,000 kilometers. But with time, as you understand, all these bits and bobs are getting destroyed much faster, and the braking system remains the most important thing. And it's the most important system in the car because it's responsible for your safety. So be sure to watch it, monitor carefully, choose trusted suppliers such as Bosch, and you'll be one happy chap. You'll definitely find something for your car because they have more than 2,000 disc and drum pad items. And in terms of composition, they compare favorably against competitors in their price range and are more efficient and better wear resistant. So I've already put Bosch on my Audi. And another interesting fact is that we have a completely different sound here. And this is probably the most important thing that they had to do, that they could do, and that they did. So that you could distinguish all these models, right? An RS7 from an RSQ8 with the same engine, and from an Audi S8, which in fact has the same engine, only slightly suppressed. And they all sound different, which is incredibly cool. Because the RS7 is so much more racing, I guess, you know, and the RSQ8 is kind of hoarse. Bonjour. Yeah, why not stroll through here, right? Ooh, what are you filming here? What's going on? And of course, you will not get such a clearance, even though you still have a quattro drive with a Torsen, but of course you can't call it a Torsen, it's a Torsen type, because as you know they haven't renewed the contract, but nevertheless, it's a really cool drive. You know, we also have a pneumatic suspension here, and it can also rise. This is a very strong side for all Audis in general. But, you know, when I moved from an RSQ8 to an RS7, what do you think I thought? Oh no, it has gotten harder. Nope. It's become more comfortable. And this is probably the most important paradox, because you simply don't expect it. So, it's time to switch to the comfort mode. Because, you know, on such a road, comfort mode is needed, and it's very important. And thank God, Volkswagen Audi Group gives us exactly that, and we are very happy. You know, it's a small surprise, because at the moment I'm driving an RS7 on this shitty road, like a regular Audi with a super mega comfortable pneumatic suspension. And the type of the road does not matter at all. You know, listen, it's worth a lot that you have the opportunity to drive on such roads and not suffer in a car that can be comfortable and sporty at the same time. In short, Audi has released 3 universal soldiers. One is more versatile than the other, and now we have to rack our brains choosing. Write in the comments, which one do you like more? While I'm suffering here on this road, you can click on the bell here, which YouTube actually tries to take away from everyone. Please like and subscribe to my channel. We'll get to our destination very soon, and it'll be a blast. And another difference is the rear seats. You realize what we're talking about, right? Firstly, hello Kia Carnival. In an Audi RS7, you also have a slanted ceiling, and you're up here, even though it's all covered in such a cool, pleasant Alcantara. But still, you don't want to touch it and leave your hair on it. The rear sofa is not adjustable at all. It is low, so you sit high. There are hard boxes here for the knees that you bump into, and it doesn't feel too pleasant. You just, you know, uncomfortable. It's a good thing there's some room for your feet. That's probably one of the most serious positive sides. You know, it feels like it should be a bit more comfortable. You know, even the headrests. It almost looks as if they're separate, but they're integrated, you see? So, no ability to raise them. All in all, it's not as comfortable here as an Audi RSQ8, and this is a negative. Quite a serious one for this car. However, your children will be very happy to jump inside and go for a ride with you. Audi are true to themselves. This is a liftback. Therefore, you have a huge trunk, even in RS7. That's the most detailed review of the trunk. For a detailed trunk review, you can visit Click. And here's what I told you about back when I was in the Audi RSQ8. You know, everything's exactly the same. I switched the cars and the steering wheel is exactly the same. The dashboard, yes, okay, slightly modified. Nonetheless, you know, it's still this regular classic instruments hell. The instruments, it's not just instruments. It's one hefty display. The Bang & Olufsen is the same. And the only thing is the central console that everyone loves to hold like this and wobble. Yes, it does really wobble. But the most important thing is that it doesn't creak whilst driving. So, and the fact that it's finished with this carbon fiber adds extras. Now, from afar, it looks like a fake, made of the simplest plastic kind of carbon. But when you start looking at it right up close, you see how each layer, how it's all intertwined, and you understand that this is really, really cool. It looks even cooler here by the door, because here you can see all these cut-off ends and edges and the joints, and this is probably the main impact. One of the main impacts is the sense of quality, because in some places, for example, you know, the door handle, where we have this aluminium part that joins the leather, you know, to me, this is not the best. Many may have noticed that in some uneven stitching on these integrated headrests at the back, you know, that's present. But usually, we all talk about it in respect of Mercedes, right? But no, it's everywhere. It's just that sometimes the car is so cool in terms of everything else that you simply ignore the negatives. Well, you know, as it happens, you just want to agree and to take this on board as much as you can. It's like moving into an apartment with problems that the developer creates for you in the very beginning. You know, you have to move in, you already bought the flat, so you're going to have to take it with the negatives that it has. So you'll just put up with it and enjoy everything else. Exactly the same thing here. Somewhere, some points will, you know, be slightly off, but what can you do? This is not protection. You know, this is something you have to pay attention when you're buying a car. But Sergey will not miss this, 100%. When taking a new car into his dealership, he will definitely notice, and then it'll be entirely up to you whether to refuse the car or buy it. Well, one more major difference, well, at least a very important one, because this is an Audi RS7, an A7, whatever. You have a button that helps you retract the spoiler. When you press it, you just hold it, the spoiler moves out, and now you can go really fast. Even in the Audi RS7, we have this air suspension, and it's not only just the air suspension, but it's also actively controlled rear axle, an active differential, and all these gadgets that we have, they all, of course, are available. And this creates its own magic of how the car moves. And it moves very cool. In the normal mode, when the automatic 8-speed gearbox neither upsets you nor worries you, this probably is a key reason why they've put an automatic gearbox here. It's clear that the second reason is that it was necessary to put it with a huge torque margin, because the first thing you do is you're going to chip these engines, right? That's the first thing you do as soon as you buy it, because this is the Volkswagen Audi group, right? Can't do it without a chip. Oh, by the way, this speed bump that's coming up is the toughest speed bump in the area. And usually all cars jump here pretty significantly, and Audi just passed it quietly, imperceptibly. Sick. That's what makes it crazy, because you know, it's a really fast car. You can fly like crazy. You know, I've driven the RSQ8, I've driven RS6 and RS7 on the track, and most importantly, when you are shocked by how the RSQ7 drives on the track, you change into an RS7, change into RS6, and you think, wow. And here it is, the very quality for which you want to buy one of these things. Because if you want abnormal super controllability, this is it. A simple comparison. Every time you turn the steering wheel in a BMW, you have the complete feeling that it's impossible to drive it comfortably and softly whilst doing it with precision and sharpness. It's either one or the other, soft and smooth or sharp and precise. Audi manages to do it somehow. It's like putting a cotton pad on a very sharp pike. It will still pierce you, but it will be done more delicately. If an Audi RSQ8 can be driven on a track, and you'll be surprised, then this one needs to be driven on the track so you understand how it works. Because you will not be able to discover all of it in everyday life on normal roads, I can guarantee you this. Yeah, you can have fun, of course, you can have fun. But the funniest thing is that even, some kind of drifting, if it happens very smoothly. It's not like, you're saying goodbye to the whole of Earth because you're flying into a lamppost. With Audi, everything is very soft, very smooth. All the drifting, all the rips, softly and smoothly. Even the launch control. You have it. It's got a notification. So it's even in the manual. RSQ8 is also in the manual, but who cares? But it switches on smoothly. You can feel it. You don't have a jolt, you don't have a kick like you do with a Porsche. It won't happen. It will do it many times, constantly. It doesn't care. But there's no this bang. You'll say that, it's PDK, why are you trying to compare? Well, still, it happens in the most delicate way. And it's probably the most important word in general during the entire review, for some reason. I really like it. Really like it. It doesn't fit my mind. How does it manage to start so smooth and so evenly, without any hellish wheel spin, without any twisting and turning? I mean, maybe with some minimal slippage, but you still feel it. It's in the most efficient way. I'm just shocked because I tried it several times intentionally on wet pavement, and each time it's very soft, very smooth. Parasite, which means it's very efficient. Yeah, let's bring out some of that unique sound. We can also analyze the noise isolation. In sport mode, when you need to switch something, you understand that, yes, the gearbox is fast. It can be fast. Because when you force it to be fast, it finds all of this somewhere inside. All the smoothness immediately fades into the background. Because the second gear hits you hard. And in general, if you press the gear pedals fast enough, everything will also happen as quickly as possible for you. You want some of that sharpness from an automatic gearbox, and it is there. Well, this is exactly how it is. It's so fast. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5.5 meters in diameter. You see these balls? These are the Audi balls. Because naturally, the conclusion should have been different, absolutely. But I can't end with some adequate conclusion when they managed to make a family car suitable enough for a racetrack, accelerating as fast as it does in under 3.5 seconds, when they managed to make this. What exactly? Well, a car that can do just about anything that you will enjoy on a track, that will move almost perfectly. Yes, you will say it doesn't drift like a Porsche. Maybe it's not as accurate and not as sharp in some aspects as a Porsche, because, well, there should be a Porsche, you understand, but it could be like that, really. But in fact, that it is so fast, universal enough in terms of comfort and awesomeness, without a doubt, it's incredible. And of course, we need to finish with a jacket, so I'm moving back to the ducklings. Well, I have no food for you, but I have an Audi. An Audi. Are you interested? Can't hear you. Well, it seems that I figured out this idea of Audi. It was not without reason that they released all three models at the same time, the RS6, the RS7 and the RSQ8. Because if they'd released any of these models before, you all would have spent all your money on the one that would have appeared first. Because somehow, with this magic, apparently the new Audi approach to all fast RS models, that they are all worthy of attention. The RS6 is the perfect all-round car for many, although now, with the advent of the RSQ8, that's not the case. For me personally, at least. And the RS7, well, it's just the most elegant out of the RS line. And in fact, it's even better than the Audi RS6, it seems to me, in terms of some of the driving qualities, and this is its most important trick. That's all. Thank you for your attention. Like, subscribe to the channel. Those who want the same jacket, please send me a note. DM me on Instagram. I'll leave a link right now because I'm going to make these jackets. I saw a lot of requests from you, and the time has come. Now I need to know the extent of your interest. Because the final price, it'll be approximately between 10 to 12,000 rubles, maybe 15. It will depend on the quantity very much. Therefore, everyone who would actually want the same super jacket, DM me on Instagram. Leave this request, then I will contact you, and, well, maybe we'll give away some jackets for free, maybe we'll launch something extra, not only jackets. Anyway, guys, DM me on Instagram and leave your messages. It's very important for me at this stage to see that you're interested. And now, that's definitely it. Thank you all very much for your attention. Until next time, bye-bye, my ducklings.